Big Daddy C Block's power. Got the streets devoured. Gold chains glisten in the hour. Flow like a sizzling shower. Spit fire like a dragon. Crews left staggering. Imagine in the habit. Check it, Big Daddy moving. Calculating the scheme. Rough neck, no bleeding. Hardcore eyes gleam. C Block dominion. Pure raw strength in the kitchen.
All right, you know what time it is. Time for the C block of the Media Virus podcast. We're going up with not just Big Daddy, usually Funky Pete. I'm going to remove that because me and Mike were fighting over it. We were both trying to stop it. All right, where the fuck was I on the copy? Here we go. We hang up with Big Daddy and Grease Monkey Pete. This is where the show goes off the rails. We lose all control over content, and the whole show develops a reputation for being a smut pit because of it. And if it wasn't our favorite part of the show, then we probably wouldn't do it. But here we are. So let's start with Big Daddy. Big Daddy, would you please, Stan, if you would, vividly describe the nicest ass you've seen in the past week in the wild?
Okay. Because I'm an avid gym goer, I see lots of nice asses. And today, just today, I mean, big ass, thighs to match. Her silhouette looked like a capital P. Nice slim waist, and then just pow, hips, ass, and she was doing squats. Okay, but she had on the booty scrunch short, so like the crease goes like it's like sucked right up in the ass. And when she walked, it would do like this bouncy, wobbly thing. Like it would bounce up and down, and it would also like wobble left and right. So it was nice. It was perfect. You ever just want to run up to someone and just slap that ass for no reason? And she was doing. She did squats, and then she was sitting doing shoulder presses. And I thought for a second, if she gets up, I'm going to go over there, and I'm going to clean the chair and sniff it while I'm kneeling down there, just to see.
Now, let me ask you this question. All the detail you just gave, what color were her eyes?
I don't even know if she had eyes.
I didn't send him the script, but he jumped ahead 2 lines. All right. Well, it is time for us to see what Big Daddy has to ask us this week.
Oh,
and
don't mind if I do.
There we go. Pop that up there.
The Media Virus Podcast presents a Stanley McFadden production. Big Daddy proudly brings to you
Big Daddy asks.
All right. You go around the room. Everyone picks a superpower. But the next person picks the side effect of the superpower that you chose. What's it going to be?
All right, so we're all going to choose a superpower for ourselves. And then, what's the order we're going in? Top to bottom or bottom?
Top to bottom is fine.
Top to bottom. Okay. So, Mike, what superpower are you going to take?
I think I want to fly.
You want to fly.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I get to choose
You get to choose the side effect of that power.
the side effect. Oh, you get nauseous when you fly. You throw up when you fly.
Oh, dude.
So you can fly, but you're puking the whole time.
That's how you play it.
Right?
Or wouldn't diarrhea be better? Like for everybody.
Chronic diarrhea. What's super strength? Oh yeah, but you from all the creatine, you get chronic diarrhea. Oh, right. So, I actually think it would be funnier to watch you puke as you fly. Because if it was diarrhea, you'd get the hang of it. You know what I mean? Because if you really think about it, you know what I mean? Because there's no pressure on your ass, right? It's not like you're sitting. Like part of the problem with diarrhea is the cramps and sitting. It's sitting on the toilet. Well, you're not sitting. You're in a weightless. Siri thought I said Siri. You're sitting on the. That's where you're getting That's where you're getting all the pressure on your back and your knees. That's why your legs fall asleep. If you're flying, what do you care if there's just shit poured out of you? You know what I mean?
Sure.
The side effect that's going to cause you the most discomfort. I feel like the diarrhea punishes everybody else. And the puking does too, but it punishes you too. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you picked flying because I had that fucking whole thing loaded. To the point where I didn't even choose. So I guess I'm torn between like super strength and invisibility since I'm gonna go with super strength.
Super strength. Okay. Side effect.
Chronic diarrhea, whatever you pick anything up.
Super strength.
It gets real quick.
Every time you use your super strength, you come violently.
I would go join those strongman competitions and just scare the shit out of everybody.
They go to lift a car off of a lady.
What's that foaming under by his shoe? That seems to be a puddle of semen, Robert. It seems he has ejaculated from lifting up that car.
He just really likes emergencies. I'm going to pick telekinesis.
Telekinesis.
You get violent diarrhea.
No. Just obnoxiously loud, very, very noxious gas. Commensurate with what you're moving telekinetic.
I mean, you could have gone with headaches. You know, you could have gone with a psychopathic episode. Like every time you used your telekinesis, you just went batshit crazy for a couple hours.
I had that. I had the gas loaded. I was hoping you went for invisibility.
Because
that was going to give you the gas.
Right.
What good is it to be invisible if you can't,
Yeah, it's kind of why I went for super strength. But I didn't.
Had you picked invisibility, I would have said that you have to be naked to do it.
Yeah, or you'd see the clothes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, That was it'd have been a little bit more fun if Pete were here. I don't know if anybody's noticed the absence of Pete, but
We have.
you sure? Don't be mean, Matt. But I had a discussion with him earlier today. And I want everybody to kind of feel like he's here. Even though he's not here, we're still going to give you an update, you know,
On
on Pete, right? So what, let me find the conversation here. Can you guys, now if I pull this up, can you guys see it? Or should I, you know what I'll do? I'll go to I sent Mike a picture of it. There we go. Can you guys see that?
more or less.
I can't see it, but I can.
But you get the gist of it. So the blue is me. And the question is, you're going to make it this week. Okay?
To the show.
To the show. So you're going to make it to the show. All right? And then he formed a sonnet. I mean, original plan was yes, overbite lifting till 8, and then AZ, and then last the new tentative plan. New tentative plan. I'm going to lay down to go to sleep, and if I manage to wake up by 9:45 ish, then I'm do the show at C Block. Then another glorious lift shot till another noon tomorrow, and then have to go do this lift as much as possible because of the struggle. All this information. Okay, and then my comment back to him is whether or not you show up, I am going on a rant on how you responded with a fucking novel, and I have no added clarity on the subject at all. I asked a direct fucking question and saying, don't know, man. I really need to sleep. I might have to, but I'll try.
It is a really long maybe.
For nothing. For nothing. It's not...
It's not even a maybe.
It's not. It is a maybe.
Yeah.
In some way, shape, or form. Like he might be here, he might not. Understood. But that was the same understanding I had before I sent you that text message. Is that you might be here, you might not, and I asked you for clarity on that and got none. And I don't care if you don't know. Just say I don't know, man. Okay. And then I won't use your name in the script. That's it. Yeah. But no, I sympathize with Pete. I just wanted to make fun of him. Like it's fine that he's not here. I'm not upset. I'm just, I want everybody to get an update. That's Pete.
Right.
Even not here, he still interrupts us with a long, boring story. I made sure he did that. You know what I mean? There's a captain on this ship.
Keeping the spirit of Pete alive and well.
That's right. You have to. All right. Well, let's get into, we did some stories this week, Big Daddy, that I thought you might want to get brought up to speed on.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
So I, instead of just regurgitating, I know I told Mike I was just going to regurgitate, but I kind of,
There's a little wrap up update here.
Yeah. Right. There you go. So,
yo, you late to the party, lunatics? Welcome to TMVP, the station that's basically a dumpster fire with a microphone. I'm the Reverend Professor Mike Latoris, your snark-slinging shepherd through the wasteland of human nonsense. For anyone just tuning in, we're recapping the batshit stories from earlier that prove the world's running on pure chaos. Buckle up, because the news is dumber than a bag of hammers. Dirty sock fungal infection. First, we've got a genius in China who turned his dirty socks into a health crisis. This guy was huffing his foot funk like it was artisanal coffee, and now his lungs are hosting a fungal fiesta.
Now, I just to explain to Big Daddy, when I first saw this, I did not think the dude was sniffing his own socks, which is how it made it into rotation.
Right.
And then
we assumed that he was.
We assumed that he was sniffing other people's socks, and for some reason it bothers me that he was sniffing his own.
Right.
It looks like it bothers you as well.
It bothers me more that he was sniffing his own than if he was sniffing someone else's socks.
Right.
Yeah, that's the part that bothers me. I mean, I guess he went straight to the source.
And
Can you imagine like a really wet, sweaty sock and just putting it up to your face and going?
Or the ones that you take off your shoe and it stands up on its own and it clinks it on the table.
He crumples off the dust and snorts it.
And which day, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't, right? Like that's his favorite part of the day. So like he's looking forward to this.
Oh, he's looking like that was a thing. Like it's like some people come home and have a few drinks, beat the wife, go to bed. No, this guy's huffing his own socks and like looking forward to it. Like you and I would look forward to coming home and beating your wife.
Exactly. I mean, I know I do. I love beating your wife when I come home. That should not be as funny as it is. Damn, that's funny.
All right. Next, we're gonna jet to India, where a groom said, "Screw the wedding, I'm trading up." 9 days before the big day, this guy ran off with his fiance's mom. Talk about a twist that makes Shakespeare puke. The bride's probably torching his stuff, while the mother-in-law is out there starring in her own telenovela. Here's a pun. He didn't just ditch her at the altar. He yeeted the whole family tree. That's not good. That's not good. No, Grok. I'm gonna have to have a conversation with Grok about what a pun is and what funny. But I guess we're waiting for the sequel to where he elopes with grandma after the reception. You know.
You know, I can appreciate that, right? Like, because you know, sometimes you don't know that you got the ugly sister.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah.
If you know, again, if you got why play with you can't if you can't have all three of them, at least came the box that came in. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's good to know, like, this is what your wife is going to look like in 20 years or 18 years, and then you're like, oh shit, that's not bad.
Now, one thing I left out and was that Jeff Bezos launched a dozen tits into the space. Did you know that?
I did see that. Katy Perry said that she was going to put the ass in the astronaut.
Yeah. I was really hoping for a reenactment of the Challenger. You know? Just like an homage. You know? We could have shown it to school children. I don't think children now wouldn't.
I would have watched that.
Right?
Children. That's pretty good in reverse.
You want to take the next one, Mike?
I don't think kids now could take that. I really don't. A woman fakes muteness for 16 years.
Which is amazing that a woman kept her fucking mouth shut. But she couldn't. That's the problem. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
We've got a Spanish scammer who faked being mute for 16 years to rake in disability cash. That's some next level hustle. She probably had a vision board with silence equals paychecks in glitter, but the cops caught her, and now she's got to sing for her supper in court. But her first words were, "Can you make it quick?" Here's a pun. She didn't just scam the system, she gave it the silent treatment. That's not a pun. Next time, maybe fake a year of taxes, less prison, more profit. Fake a fear.
All right. So next time we come across the words, "Here's a pun," Let's just not read them.
Yeah, we're not going to do that.
Just don't read those words, and then it'd be funnier because you're not expecting a pun.
Right.
The lines were like okay, they weren't bad, but when you line it up with "here's a pun," it sucks. It's like
we should line up everything with "here's a pun."
See, here's the thing. Like, you know, my wife has scolded me several times for my self-deprecating attitude, and you know, I often make jokes about having a micro penis, right? So now I don't want people to expect, like, if I get a woman to go to bed with me, I don't want her expecting a hug. You know what I mean?
Make her thankful for everything she gets.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? You got to undersell some things.
Yeah, that's fair.
I forget what we were talking about, but you got to undersell some things. Did we read the story of the Spanish woman yet?
Yes.
We did? We finished that?
We did.
Yeah. That's amazing, though, that she kept her fucking mouth shut except for when she couldn't.
Yeah, I mean, especially for a Latin woman.
Yeah. I want to know what she said and to whom.
Can you imagine if like a private investigator like started a relationship and was like fucking her, and she started screaming, it's like, "I gotcha!"
and you got to imagine that they suspected this before they were able to prove it. So then they just like doing weird shit to try to get her to talk. Like someone was in there and they look at her in the eye and then like eat a burrito sideways just to see like,
Another thing I forgot to mention, and I just want to keep you up to date. When we finished the story about the space flight,
right?
We finished it up with, and remember, space is already a vacuum. We don't need women there. And that wasn't AI.
That was Maddie.
That was me.
That's pretty good.
Thanks. I like to take credit for my jokes, and I like to repeat them if possible. So I got that one on 2 episodes. I'm pretty happy about that. This is another one that I knew we had to get you to talk about. But also, we can't hold everything back. So I figured maybe doing a recap of the funnest stuff, But finally, rich idiots are at it again, hosting the world's first sperm race at some swanky venue. Millionaires are betting on whose tadpoles can swim the fastest, like it's the Olympics for jizz. They call it charity, but it's just a bunch of yacht-owning dweebs screaming, "Stroke, stroke, stroke." These guys just aren't racing sperm. They're stroking their egos. And I hope the prize is a lifetime supply of dignity, because they're apparently fresh out. Now, in this one, before I was the line, these guys just aren't just racing sperm, they're stroking their egos. Instead of saying, "Here's a pun," it goes, "Pun time," which is legitimately worse.
Stop. Pun time.
Pun time.
So to clarify, they are racing each other to see who can nut faster?
No.
No, that's the idea we're going to have now. And we're going to call it qualifiers for this race.
No,
what they're doing is they're jizzing, and then they're seeing, like, they're putting the egg at the end of a track, and they're timing how long it takes the sperms to get to the egg, and they're betting on times.
That
they're racing.
They're racing sperm to the egg. and they need a qualifier. That's what I'm saying, dude. I'm out. It takes me forever. You know? So, what?
Somewhere, a woman donated eggs for this.
Well, no, see, here's the thing is that there's couples trying to get pregnant. Like they are trying to get pregnant, but they're also like everybody's going in at the same time to get the, their eggs and the sperm so that they can have a race.
Apparently there's a report that you get on the play-by-play of how the so
wow.
Someone figured this out and they're betting on it.
And what does the winner get? Oh, pregnant. Okay.
Well, not only that, they're betting on.
Yeah, they're fucking gambling on it.
Like big
So
money.
you suppose the guy that lost is the one that called the that blew the whistle? Like Dr. Spankman over there wins 9 times out of 10. He must be cheating.
I mean, who knows? But
and what names do you give? Because horses have clever names. What names do you give sperm?
Wiggles. Michael Phelps.
Frothy slobber.
Jizz the Whiz. No. The Flash. No.
Now, now, here's the thing. Here's another question. Do we have to name the individual sperms, or just each
Load
of sperm? Because
I think you would have to name them individually.
Because you can't. Well, here's the thing: is there, you can't bet
50,000 names.
50. First of all, there's 50,000 names. Second of all, you got to figure out which one is going at what point. You understand what I'm saying? And they're all going in one direction, except that the one that would make me, he's in the back blowing a joint. I don't know what the fuck you guys are doing.
They gotta wake him up. Hey, we're supposed to be. He's like, oh shit.
Give me
Sorry.
I'm not in the ass. Damn it. What were we talking about? Oh yeah. So you're not it's not like the individual sperms are racing each other.
Right.
But one load is racing another load. So conceivably, so it would be like, the Wu-Tang clan, like the Wu-Jizz clan. Right? Or the Wu-Spam glam or something like that. The Wu-Spam gland. There you go. Whatever. But the jizz monkeys,
The jizz monkeys.
sea monkeys.
D monkeys.
That's it. You've got it. D monkeys.
D monkey.
That's what it is. But listen. The next story I found fascinating. And go ahead, Mike. I've been jumping all over you. I'm gonna have more. I'm
talking about the shellfish desires.
Yes, very shellfish desires.
Hermit crabs get horny for ocean trash.
Hey man, I get horny for trash sometimes too. You know what I mean?
You've seen my exes.
You know what I'm saying?
Good evening, degenerates and debris lovers alike. Our final story of the night is
It's not our final story, though. It's
Okay.
just, just
it's just a
correction.
real sandy little
I forgot
scandal.
to fix it. Yeah,
Just a real sandy little scandal coming straight from the depths of the sea.
that's right.
And no, it's not another mermaid OnlyFans scandal. This one involves hermit crabs and their completely inappropriate relationship with ocean plastic. According to scientists at the University of Hull, because apparently Britain has nothing better to fund, hermit crabs are getting sexually aroused by a chemical released from decaying plastic trash. That chemical? Oleamide. A name that sounds suspiciously like a 90s cologne marketed to confuse teenage boys.
Oleamide.
Now, oleamide is already known to be a sex pheromone in some marine life, but when researchers exposed hermit crabs to it, their breathing went up and they scrambled toward the source.
They all started beating off.
These bottom-dwelling birds smelled that sexy scent wafting off a floating Doritos bag and said, "Oh yeah, baby, that's the shell I want to bang in." You might be wondering, trying to eat the trash? No. They're feeling feelings. They're following what their tiny crab brains interpret as a sexual cue.
Yeah.
Only to find out they're about to mount a discarded flip-flop. It's tragic. It's hilarious. It's the kind of confusion normally reserved for a lonely dude swiping right on AI-generated thirst traps. But instead of getting catfished by bots, these poor bastards are trying to hook up with a shampoo bottle. Experts say this chemical confusion might lead them to ingest plastic or abandon healthy habits for trashy ones. Basically, the crabs are risking it all for what turns out to be a toxic relationship.
Haven't we all?
This just in. Not even hermit crabs can make good life choices in 2025. Nature's just out here gaslighting everyone now. And that, my friends, is how pollution has become nature's most effective sex toy. I'm the Reverend Professor Mike Latoris, and you've been listening to the Media Virus Podcast, where even the shellfish can't keep it in their shell.
Hey yo. Now, see, I found this fascinating that plastics are giving, like, they decay and create something that is a shelf, they said it's right, sea life. It's a pheromone.
Yep.
Like, so this is what I'm thinking. Plastics made from petroleum.
Okay.
Right? You think about it.
Right.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Petroleum comes from decay, pressure, carbon, all these things have to, this mixture has to be perfect.
Right.
Right? Probably a lot of marine life went into that petroleum.
I mean, it stands to reason. There does tend to be a fair amount of petroleum that seems.
So that pheromone derived from the oil is stays in the plastic, and then as it breaks down, it's then released.
Conceivably, yeah.
Yeah, that's I don't know why I find it so fascinating, but you guys can go fuck yourselves if you don't. I'll tell you that right now.
my
But I mean, women, like human women, been fucking plastic for years. Every time
this is true.
I mean, not for nothing, but what the implants are made of something else, but the shit that holds them in there, it's fucking plastic, dude. Right?
I mean, having banged both trash and plastic, I guess you can call me a hermit crab.
I don't know if you ever tried to jerk off with a rubber glove, but that's probably, you know what? You're right. You're absolutely right. Fuck you guys talking about?
Oh.
So I guess the lesson is we should use rubber gloves when we wash dishes.
I mean, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
You
Keeps-
know.
Wait, so this means we need to make more pollution. And does it affect the taste of the hermit crabs?
You'd have to ask the plastic.
Yeah,
Oh, wait,
Mm.
aren't something that we typically eat.
Listen, we don't judge here at the Media Virus.
Kill them as pets for no reason. All right,
hmm.
but we don't eat them. That's where we draw the line.
You ever seen one out of its shell?
So we can transmit them, but we can't eat them.
Yeah, I have. They're ugly as shit.
Uh-huh.
But well, moving on.
Yeah. Celibacy might kill you. Science says so.
See?
In
Ladies.
the news that'll have your uncle dusting off his Tinder profile, researchers now say that not having enough sex might actually shave years off of your life. That's right. Being a sexual slacker might be deadly. A study analyzing data from over 14,000 Americans, because of course it was Americans, found that women who got down less than once a week had a higher risk of early death. Men, apparently less affected. So hooray for the double standard, I guess.
I mean, we can just crank it out. You know what I mean?
But the real kicker, people battling depression who manage to keep their freak on at least semi-regularly had a significantly lower risk of dying early. Sex, it seems, isn't just good for your mood. It might keep you breathing, literally. The theory is that regular sexual activity boosts cardiovascular health, improves blood flow, and helps maintain physical function as we age. Plus, it makes you want to live longer, especially if you're doing it right. So if your excuse was, I'm too tired, maybe reconsider. Science says your life could depend on it. And remember, folks, the Media Virus Podcast is here to inform you, arouse your curiosity, and possibly guilt you into scheduling some naked cardio.
That's right. Get in there and get some.
We here at the Media Podcast are determined to save lives. If we can save the life of one lazy bitch,
Just
then
one.
we have done our job.
Just one. Because we don't need many more than that, but just one.
Just one. Just one.
It's just one of those days you don't want to wake up. Everybody sucks and everything's fucked. But
It's a pretty sweet logo there. The
Actually, I do like that.
with
yeah,
the kind of Punisher-esque, kind of alien-esque. It's a kind of a neat skull.
That actually would make a good looking tattoo.
yeah, it would be. You should get it tattooed upon yourself.
I do like that.
From ear to ear across the back of your head.
That would be cool.
Now it's going to be along my dick. It's going to say the Media Virus Podcast featuring Big Daddy.
All right.
Featuring Big Daddy, Matty Rock. It's gonna have everyone's names, and then when I'm not hard, it'll just say TMVP. Say, what was that tattoo say?
Hold on. You want to see it?
Took 8 hours to get this one done.
It's like a job. Oh, shit.
Welcome to Jamaica. Have a wonderful time while you're here.
That's what that was. I was just trying to remember that.
Try to remember the punchline to that joke.
Yeah.
Oh, you fell in love with a girl named Wendy too? He's like, no. Mine says, welcome to Jamaica. Have a wonderful time while you're here. Well, what else we got going on? Anything good?
Well, I'm gonna bang some trash later on.
Good for you, bud.
At it.
Get somebody. You know?
Yeah, I've got my eye on the rings that a 6-pack comes in.
Oh man.
Because if I cut 2 of the holes, I can just barely fit.
Walk right into it every time, don't we? Stubbed my toe on it last week.
I tripped over it. I tripped over it going down the steps, and the visual on that is fantastic.
You all right, Matt?
Yeah, I'm good. I was just I typed into Grok. I need an ending for the show. And
It was like, say bye, Matt.
well, like it gives you a line, you know.
Uh-huh.
So that kind of. Hang on. Oh, you're not in the document.
I can be.
So they think our outro jingle, Grok thinks our outro jingle should be a chaotic blend of electric guitar riffs, a kazoo solo, and a faint whoopee cushion sound. Fading in. I think the whoopee cushion sound is supposed to be fading in. Like there's guitar, there's kazoo, and then
I don't know which one I want to hear more: the fade, whoopee cushion, or a kazoo solo. I think it makes me like November Rain, but a kazoo. A 12-minute kazoo solo.
But our outro jingle, another outro jingle is crescendos with a triumphant trumpet, a random cowbell, and a slide whistle fading out with a dog barking.
All right, I can see that.
That's a lot of shit going on.
It's a lot of shit going on.
A lot of shit going on. Are you ready?
I'm in the document. Where are we?
Down the bottom.
Okay.
All the way down.
Okay. Imagine the chaotic blend of electric guitar riffs, kazoo solo, and a faint whoopee cushion sound fading in.
Well, folks, that wraps up another unhinged episode of the Media Virus Podcast. We've laughed, we've cried, we've questioned why humanity hasn't tried to yeet it into the sun yet. From space-faring divas to horny hermit crabs, we've covered the kind of stories that make you wonder if the universe is just trolling us at this point. Huge thanks to our executive producer, the Reverend Professor Mike Latoris, for steering a clown car for a show. And my beautiful wife, Ricky Rockdeff, for not divorcing me after hearing me say sperm race on the air. And
Maddie, it's been quite a wild ride, and I'm proud to say we've lowered the collective IQ of our listeners once again. To everyone out there, keep it weird, keep it real. And for the love of all that's holy, stop sniffing your damn socks.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Mike, I also want to give a shout out to Stanley McFadden, Big Daddy. He's got shows and shit coming up.
I got shows and shit coming up.
He does. He's going to tell you about it.
This Saturday at the Delaware Contemporary. Show starts at 8 o'clock. Go to cdc.org where you can find out more information about the Fearless Improv Show. Next one is for the Forgetful Squirrels. It's coming up in May. Check out Forgetful Squirrels on any of the socials for more information on that. And I have some socks over here waiting for me.
He's going to huff some socks now, man.
Oh, fucking finally. Can we outro this now? Oh, where's my fucking lube? You know what?
This episode of the Media Virus Podcast is brought to you by 302-46 Voice. That's 302-46 Voice. If you want my voice on your project, dial 302-46 Voice today. Don't forget to check out our sister show on the Media Virus Podcast Network, Stepmoms Without Children. Join Ricky Rockdeff as she takes a deep dive into the fascinating people she meets and thinks that you should meet too. Find Stepmoms Without Children at themediavirus.com, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your fine podcasts. Special thanks to mysportsreports.com and delawaresports.com, delivering regional sports coverage straight to your devices via stream and podcast. Learn more at mysportsreports.com and delawaresports.com. If you wish to sponsor the Media Virus Podcast, email your contact information to pml@themediavirus.com with the subject line sponsor, or leave us a message at 646-VIRUS01. On behalf of the infection team and our feckless leader, Maddie Rockdeff, I'm the Reverend Professor Mike Latoris, coming from to you live high atop Uncle Butch Studios, with one hand firmly on the pulse and the other clawing for a shred of sanity. This has been the Media Virus Podcast. We'll be back next week. Find us at themediavirus.com, on social media, or download us now from your favorite podcast platform.